Hello, everyone. I'm attorney Lee Marvin, and I've been specializing in immigration law for over a decade. I provide a lot of very useful videos on my channel, so thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe now. Click the notification bell so that you can get notifications of future videos. This particular video, I want to talk about the processing times. I know we do a lot of videos about this, but this one's going to be different. Wait to the end because I have some very important tips for you on how to save your sanity when it comes to this immigration stuff. So stand by to the end so I can give you these tips to help you succeed with your process. So the National Visa Center is the part of immigration that is the in between from USCIS, which is the Department of Homeland Security, and the Embassy, which is the Department of State. So the National Visa Center, NVC, is the office that processes, organizes, collates, completes the file to hand it off to the embassy, okay? So they get all the information from USCIS, which was your initial application and your approval. Then they get it. And again, this is true for a fiancé visa. This is true for a green card. So consular processing of a green card request overseas. It's all the same thing. It goes through that National Visa Center. And once they vet it, they look through all of your documents, make sure that you meet all the requirements of the State Department, which again is different from Department of Homeland Security. It's just one of those weird quirks of immigration law that you have multiple departments of the government that handle different aspects of immigration. And both of these organizations, these offices, have a different mandate and they have a different approach toward immigration. So that's why there's two distinctly different application processes. National Visa Center is the in-between to make sure that they're getting the right information from USCIS and giving it to the embassy. So questions all the time now about how long it takes to process. So it takes longer than it did. Okay, that's the quick and dirty answer, but it doesn't really help you. So how long does it really take? It used to take, I don't know, from USCIS approval, you get your notice saying that this is approved, and we're sending this approval to the National Visa Center. That used to take about 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. It's taken longer now. I would say, around 6 weeks now to get the notice from the National Visa Center that they are ready for you to rock and roll in their office. So what will you be getting from the National Visa Center? Well, usually it's an email. They don't do things in paper these days. They used to be exclusively paper. Now they're the first part of immigration that actually did virtually everything online, and their system is pretty darn good. USCIS, on the other hand, is the polar opposite. Horrible, okay? So National Visa Center, they will give you an email notification, okay? They'll send it to the applicant. They'll usually send it to the attorney too. That notice will say, hey, you now are in our office, and here's a series of links and instructions on what you have to do to move forward. The most important part of that is it's an invoice and a control number for finding your account within the National Visa Center, okay? So these are highly important because, first of all, you got to pay, right? The National Visa Center wants you to pay them so they can continue working your case. And your account number or control number is what is going to be needed for all references to this phase of the operation. USCIS is done. They're dead. They don't care about you. They did their part. And if you ever have to go back to them for anything, I feel bad for you because their attitude very much is leave us alone. Go worry about the other department of the government that you now have to worry about. So they're done. So that control number and then the invoice number are highly important because that's how you access your account, your online account. You get that notification 6 weeks roughly. You log in, the first thing you got to do is make that payment. So you make that payment because that opens up the account and allows you to start populating your profile with all these documents. So again, the instructions, a lot of it's online. They don't really tell you in the notice and the email. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But they will tell you very clearly online, well, not really very clearly, but they will take you to the point where they say, this is what we need. That information must be uploaded to your profile. So you will access the profile. Usually takes, up to a week after you make that initial payment for them to open up your full profile so that you can add your information. When you go there, click the links. It's very easy to upload the information. Like I said, the National Visa Center has got it right. It's very easy to figure out how to upload the information. Sometimes, and as a matter of fact, I just had a question on one of my other videos about uploading information, and this particular person uploaded it many times, the exact thing that the government asked for, but yet they keep asking. The point is, they tell you what they want from you, and you just upload it. So my tip for this is to not wait. Start adding the information, because there is a time limit that if you wait for longer than a year to do this stuff, they will close your case down. They will shut it down. And sometimes they give you the notification that they're going to shut it down. They ask you if you want to keep it open. They don't always do that. What they will do, if you are past the year and it basically expired, you have to pay all your fees again. Back in the day, we used to be able to interact with immigration, with the National Visa Center, in order to have them keep the file open so we didn't have to pay the fees over and over again. Well, that ended about 4 years ago. So now if it's been longer than a year, you're done. You can reopen it in many cases, but that's not always true. So again, the tip number 2. So tip number 1 is make sure that you start uploading the information. Tip number 2, if you think it's going to be longer than a year, you need to talk to an attorney to see if it's possible to keep things open. Because if they do close your case, not only do you have to repay everything, but sometimes they won't let you reopen it. Sometimes you have to go through the song and dance of trying to get USCIS to send the prior approval to the National Visa Center again. And in my experience, Trump and Biden, they play games and they actually will not do it anymore. There's a very distinct process for doing it. They just don't do it anymore. They don't want to do it. They basically make you file from scratch. You don't want to file from scratch, so don't let it close. Talk to an attorney if you need help. If you need my help, I'm happy to help you, but don't let it expire, or it's a lot of trouble. It's a lot of more money, and it's just needless. Okay, so stay on top of it. If you have questions, you can reach out to me. Look at my other videos, because I do give other tutorials about different aspects of this. Check them out. Again, subscribe if you haven't. If you haven't, I can't imagine why you wouldn't, but please subscribe for the tips and all the very helpful things that I provide for anyone and everyone. If you have a question, give us a call. I want to help you succeed. So give me a call if you need help.